Hi, Grace.
Hi, Allison.
So I want to start by talking about the paper versus reality gap. How did your visual plan for the film change once you saw the actors and the space and the cameras were actually rolling?
Oh my gosh, there's so much planning you can do on paper, and you're just up in the middle of the night making a shot list, and you're like, oh, that would look cool. Oh, that would look cool. And like, I have a Google Doc of like 10 pages of just like different ideas I had, different ways I wanted to execute those ideas or could execute those ideas. And then the second I had people in front of me who were just waiting for me to give them instruction, I, I was just like, I don't know what words are. I don't know what terms are. There are shadows. I don't know how to. What? Like, is this my first day on Earth? Like, it was, it was really bad. And I thought I had this almost arrogant confidence going in because I was like, we're filming at the house I've lived in for over 20 years. I know what we're doing. I know how to move things around. And then I'm like, I know how to move around as someone who lives here, but not as someone who has camera and lights and all sorts of equipment because I'm like, oh, there's a column there, which doesn't matter when you're walking down the street, not the street. Oh, there's a column there, which doesn't matter when you're walking down the hallway, but when you've got a full slider and tripod and you've got all sorts of gear, then it matters. And then you're so busy getting the shot that you're like, wait, I also have to direct the actors. Oh, the actors are doing a good job. But okay, maybe if we just hit that, like, oh, she moved a little over her mark and it just, yeah. Or you're like, that painting's lined up in this shot, but not in this shot. So then when I cut back to it, it's going to be awful. Oh, but we're running out of battery. Oh, but we're running out of time. Oh, one actor has to go. Oh, I'm hungry. Like, yeah. So big dreams up here. In practicality, there's a thousand little things you can forget. I hope that answered your question.
It does. It
Okay.
absolutely does. Moving on
Yeah.
from that, were there any shots that you were hoping to get but couldn't because it just didn't work out practically the same way it did in your mind?
No, actually, you know what? You made it so easy for me. I think I really had trouble sort of. I wanted originally to start in the living room and then go to the dining room, but there was no way we could do like a full unit shift in a one shot. And it just didn't make sense. And then I was like, okay, well, what if we did like she's on the couch, she sees the dollhouse, and then it's like, oh, but then that would break the 180-degree rule, and then you'd see stuff in the back, and then we would have to cheat out different things that might be noticeable. Um, Not like, a little table that might not be moved. It's like, oh, that was a big painting in this frame. If it's gone, we're gonna notice. Um, yeah, and also, uh, I I wish I did the sunrise sunset better, but we'll see. There's still time. There's still time.
There's always more time, and it's also good to know what you can improve on.
Yeah.
That way, you can incorporate that idea into a future film
Oh yeah.
and repeat to better effect.
Ask me again when I'm editing, and I'm gonna be like, this girl did not know anything. This is, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna be like, oh, the light's different. And not because the sun was setting, but because I wanted pizza, so we stopped rolling, and then we moved the light, and then we forgot what it was set to, and yeah.
On a more positive note,
Yes!
were there any shots that came out better than you expected? Anything that you picked up on the day that you weren't planning and just fell in love with?
Oh, the slider. Anything with the slider. The slider automatically makes it look. It just elevates it. We did 2 shots with the slider. Absolutely cannot recommend enough. Um, because it's a mini dolly and it just looks so clean and intentional. Um, Oops, I didn't silence my phone.
Don't worry, the director will yell at you, but you're the director. So, speaking as you being the director, how did you handle the weight of the chair? What was the most surprising thing about being the person everyone looks to for answers, and how did you handle the pressure of making the day?
I think I'm really confident in how I want things to look. I know what I want. I think my challenge is knowing how to get there, but also not wanting to be a nuisance. Like, I think my main thing was I just didn't want people to think that I was wasting their time. I didn't want people to feel that there was um, just like a lack of knowledge on my part or that I kind of had no vision. We were floating around. I very much had a vision. I just didn't know how to explain my vision in a way where everybody could understand it, like in a technically proficient way, I guess I should say. Um,
So then, do you have any notes that you're taking personally and being like, okay,
oh,
this form of communication worked, this didn't, and I'm taking that forward?
100%. And I think also going forward, I'll know what I need to do technically as well, because there would be like a shadow that I didn't want there, and instead of being able to communicate why I did not want that shadow, or what I was just like, shadow, not good, not good. Um, I think I lost a lot of articulation just because I was in my head and I was just so worried people would think that I didn't know what I was doing or that I was wasting their time. So because of that, I wasn't actually as productive as I wanted to be because I was just so busy filtering everything I said and I thought.
But I feel like that also indicates a certain level of trust you have in your crew to be like, that shadow's a problem, that's not what I want. I'm not the one moving the equipment, and I trust that my crew can handle that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you were like, that's a problem, you weren't able to articulate how to fix it, but you found that your crew was able to?
Oh, absolutely. No. I think my problem is not my crew. My problem is me feeling like I'm wasting my crew's time. My problem is feeling like I'm exploiting my crew just because my crew agreed to do something. I'm like, oh yeah, I asked you to do something, you agreed. That was too much on my part. I'm sorry I overstepped. I think that's a big one I gotta get over. Um, but no, crew, absolutely. And having people who know what's up and surrounding yourself with people who not only have a calming presence, but who know what's up, and surrounding yourself with people you love so that you feel less self-conscious if you do make a mistake or if it's evident that you don't know what's going on. Um, and things that you do know, you'll forget on the day, and that's okay. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So crew, 11 out of 10.
So you say working with the crew was amazing.
Yeah.
Now your film has two actors in it.
Yeah.
Now you know them personally, and you've
Mhm.
worked with them personally and previously. But what was it like directing your crew, and what was it like now directing actors?
I had never directed actors before, beyond little coverage exercises and things like that. I'd never directed anything, and I think because I knew them previously and I had known both my actors since I was a teenager, that, they have more than a decade of knowing me as one person, and then it just felt weird to kind of tell them what to do, especially because I know what they're capable of. I know what they can do. I've seen them do it. So I didn't want them to think that I was just like, now that I have one semester of film school under my belt, it's over for y'all.
Making things personal can always complicate things.
Yeah, I 100% would, like, if I either didn't know the actors or the actors were part of our little bubble where you understand what deadlines we have, what professors are looking for, and what is needed from you from this program, I think it probably would have been easier to just be like, yeah, we're all in this together. I've done this for you. You do this for me. That's cool. So I think that would have been easier if I didn't know the actors personally, like as friends, but older friends. So I felt like I didn't want there to be a power balance shift where they were like, this girl's too big in her britches. But then as for the crew knew what was up. The crew does this. So I was just like, hey, psst, psst, I'm struggling. Psst, psst, psst. And no, they saved me. They saved me.
I'm glad to hear that. Looking forward into post production,
Yeah.
what do you foresee being the biggest thing that is going to come between now and actually showing this film to class?
Oh, I am so sorry, Editing Grace. I am so, so sorry. Because there's so much you want to do, and there's so much you're like, I have a vision. I'm going to do this. And then, either your camera's running out of battery or you're running out of time, and you start to prioritize different things, which, like, I knew was going to happen. Anytime there's ever a time crunch, you start prioritizing, which is natural. But now when I go to edit it, I know I'm going to be like, if we had taken an extra 5 minutes, that would have been better. if we had done this a little differently, this would make my life easier right now, or had I been more patient with this, or had I been more careful with that. So I'll be cursing my my future self will be cursing my current self, even though both of us are just doing what we gotta do to survive. Just get the assignment done. Yeah.
I understand that. I think everyone understands that. We've all been involved in productions by this point, both large and small. Well, obviously not too large. What do you think you would do differently if this were to become a significantly larger production?
I would have more than two people, and I think I would get, and I mean I definitely had in the two people I had people who knew way more than I did about everything that we were covering, so that was great. I think it would be easier if we could not all be in the same room or something where like the actors can hear me being like, I can't remember how to do this, or like, what do you think about this? If it could be more of like a meeting, I think in the future. I think if I was directing a team of like 100 strangers, I would be much better than directing a team of 4 friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, Allison. It was a pleasure talking to you.
And I look forward to seeing your film when we show it in class on April 20th.
April 20th.
Just around the corner.
Yeah, just around the corner. Godspeed.
Godspeed.